Welcome to POL Classics. Be sure to check out the best of POL from over the years. It's at its most popular day and time, and guess what? It's only on WNEP+.
Coming up next on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, the year 1999, all rolled up into 1/2 hour. We've picked some of our favorite stories to show you and hopefully relive part of last year. The look back is next on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too, sir.
I'm Don Jacobs, along with Dan Sowa and Mike Stevens, here on the first show of the year 2000.
That's right.
And we're here with little collections we've done.
Oh yeah, we've had a good time going back over the year 1999 to pick some of our favorites. And it's time to turn to...
The senior man.
Better you say it than I. I was thinking.
The senior man on the staff.
Yeah, Stan.
Let's get this show moving. It's one of my favorite times of the year, a time to look back and look at the stories we did and try to pick and choose, and it's tough to do. Sometimes you want to do it blindly. What we did was put together a little collection of just some of the stories that I got to do in the year 1999.
I certainly spent a lot of time in the great outdoors in 1999. I traveled throughout northeastern and central Pennsylvania, meeting interesting people, doing interesting things. For example, this father and son hunting team. I'll never forget this bunny hunt with Eric and Paul Kosakowski. It wasn't long before Lady and Cleaver bounced yet another bunny. Eric saw it take off and got the dogs heading in the right direction.
Take him down there, son. Show him where.
As luck would have it, the bunny ran toward Paul and he bagged another one.
Got him.
It's nice to see a father and son team hunting together. Speaking of father and son teams, I enjoyed a day in the kitchen with my dad when we cooked up some lazy man's piggies. We all know how people make pigs in a blanket. I remember Pop when Mom would do it, and you were there always because you were a great chef and a great helper. You'd sit there and make pigs in a blanket by getting the cabbage leaves and laying them out and rolling up the meat and getting the toothpicks and putting the toothpicks inside and so on and so forth. By the way, this was my father's first appearance on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life, and Pop, I think you did quite well. The Winter Festival in Bradford County also made a first appearance on Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. Ron Colton was our guide for the day.
This Winterfest itself, this is our third year. This is our time of the year, winter. We love it. Right now the biggest draw, as you can see, is the radar runs.
This association really knows how to have a good time. We also met up with a few nonprofit groups making a difference. For example, the Fishing Creek Sportsmen's Association and Doris Sittler.
Each bin contains like rainbow or brook. Next year we'll also have browns. We have a total of 22,250 fish here.
22,000.
Yeah. So we have quite a few of this.
They certainly raise a lot of trout in those raceways. We also found volunteers cleaning up a trout stream in Scranton city limits. Walt Buckman is the WCO for Lackawanna County.
It's kids helping kids. Like I said, 90% of the people that come down here to fish are kids, and we've got kids, Boy Scouts down here helping kids out, so it's a great project.
It's certainly great to see people working together for a common good. The local chapters of the National Wild Turkey Federation all got together to put on a special program for kids. I was impressed with the mock hunt.
Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down! Turkey birds here!
Okay, we got two jokers coming in here walking.
Hey
guys, there's a hunter here.
I got it.
Oh guys, there's a hunter here.
Hey, ho, we're hunters over here, huh?
Get down! Turkey birds here!
Where's your orange?
Get down!
What do you mean, where's my orange?
You gotta be wearing orange when you're moving around.
You don't wear orange for your turkey. On the turkey, so see you. See you.
Hopefully that event will become a yearly tradition. The Forksville Bow Fest is a yearly tradition, and a fun one at that.
Load him up and we'll catch one coming out of the... I'm going to hit the deer with it? Yeah, you're going to shoot the deer now.
Lay that in there, push it in.
Yep.
Load it. Boom.
Oh, just a little low. Reload fast.
The Forksville Bow Festival is designed to be fun for the entire family. The BOW program is designed specifically for women. BOW stands for Becoming an Outdoor Women, and this program was held at Camp Kresge. Why is it that you signed up for this part of the program?
Because I want to know how to gut a deer correctly, because if I plan on killing one, I got to do all the hard work.
What a crash course in outdoor education. Good luck to all of the participants. Lady luck was shining down on me this past deer season, and it all started on the opening day in Northumberland County at the Muncie Hills Wildcat Hunting Club. Just about a half hour later, a rather large doe scooted up the hill and kept looking back over her shoulder. A good indication, I thought, a buck might be following. And sure enough, here he came. What a great bunch of guys. I also enjoyed a successful antlerless deer season. I carried my .357 Magnum just for a change of pace.
Buck during buck season, antlerless deer during doe season. It's going to be venison on the table this year.
I hope in the year 2000 I get to meet as many nice people, make as many new friends and memories as I did in 1999.
Yes, and what more could you say? It's all about making new friends and having a good time. And boy, we sure did have a good time this past year. A successful season when it came to the deer hunting.
Hope you have better luck with that spud gun next year.
He doesn't need to shoot potatoes, though. You're a pretty successful deer hunter this year.
Yeah, did well with the handgun, too.
Yeah.
And we're going to see yours a little bit later, right? Now, this isn't 5 minutes of that same fish being caught over and over and over again, is it?
Well, one can never get too many images of perfection.
We are going to take a short break, and we are going to come back with a look at 1999 through my eyes, so please join us.
We'll have even more POL classics on WNEP Plus right after this.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life for this very first show of the year 2000. And hi guys.
Hi guys.
Good to be here with you.
It really is.
It was fun looking back at the stories that I did, but now I'm looking forward to seeing those, Jake, that you put together.
This is probably the third or fourth year in a row that I've actually looked at the stories and realized I've done so many of them dealing with wildlife and animals. So what did I do? I took a look at some of my favorites, and here's a collection of them for you.
1999. Producer Doug Engel and I spent a lot of time last year chasing after animals and fish. It started for us with a 5-part series on the trapping and transferring of elk. Part Part 1 took a look at the moving of female elk, commonly referred to as cows.
We're waiting on the ear tag. He's coming in here now. The DNA is the tissue sample from the ear that's used for looking at the variation in our herd versus other herds in the United States. So we're going to be doing some comparison there because our parent herd came out of Yellowstone and also out of South Dakota. So we're looking to see how we compare with them now in terms of variability in the bloodline.
Because of this program, part of the elk herd has been transferred into parts of Clinton and Tioga counties. But perhaps the most exciting story came with the darting and transferring of a bull elk. Now take a closer look. Watch for a small white explosive charge designed to send a tranquilizing medicine into the elk. As you can see, it hit its mark.
Marked him at 25 after. It's a good bull. He's out pretty good.
What kind of tranquilizer? It was strong, obviously.
It's Schedule II narcotic drug.
We are happy to say this bull elk is reportedly doing fine in his new home range. We also met a family last year who literally take their work home with them. Remember the Sweater family? So now this is a doe and a buck.
Yep.
And this one started with you. How many do you have now?
34. We're up to 34 whitetails, and we have the two reindeer that we got last year.
Now you're not just doing this for us. You let the deer in your house when selected times and selected deer.
Right.
Oh dear, I almost forgot to mention that the Sweaters displayed some of their deer at the Pennsylvania Outdoor Life Expo we held at the Lycoming Mall near Muncie. That was a great weekend, a lot of good people, and a lot of fun. It certainly was a good way to think spring and get rid of cabin fever. Spring always plays havoc with the Pennsylvania animal rehabilitators. We stopped by the Pocono Wildlife Rehabilitation Center for an up-close look.
We've had an exceptionally heavy baby season, especially with fawns and some raccoons and, well, all the standard stuff. And a lot of the calls that we get are people who really don't know what to do, and they've already picked something up that doesn't always need our help. And a baby possum. A cute little guy.
We also spent some time with another Pennsylvania rehabilitator. Barbara Gregory specializes in otter rehabilitation.
Lori, are you going to stay still for a minute? Now I want you to stay still for a minute. Lori, come on, girl. Here we go. Yes, there you go.
Oh, look at
that
animal.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania wildlife rehabilitators and biologists always play an important role when it comes to wildlife. They certainly brought back the American symbol of freedom, the bald eagle. We found this nesting pair along the Delaware River.
Oh boy, look at that. He's making his nest up there in those trees.
Bald eagles are becoming a very common sight these days. Wild ringneck pheasants used to be commonly seen along Pennsylvania farmlands, but that has changed, and so is the Pennsylvania Game Commission philosophy when it comes to pheasant stalking.
We need to face the facts. That's the truth. The only recreation we'll have as far as pheasant hunting is put and take. We'll never have sustained pheasant population. Some may survive, some may reproduce in certain areas, but they will not sustain themselves.
When you talk about Pennsylvania wildlife, you have to talk about the white-tailed deer population. We spent a night in Susquehanna County talking about and looking at Pennsylvania whitetails. Game Commission biologists believe this year's deer population is the largest in 100 years, an estimated 1.4 million deer to be exact. And they expect hunters to harvest a record 199,000 bucks before the season closes. Don Burchell is the WCO for Northern Susquehanna County, and his area is loaded with deer.
It's going to be a good year, weather permitting.
Right.
But the deer population here is in good shape, and the deer are in good shape.
So let's see. I spend time in the woods chasing after animals, I meet all kinds of interesting people, and I get to tell you all about it. God willing, we're all around next year for my look at the year 2000.
Yeah, I hope we have a great year 2000, just like 1999.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Fun stuff. It's always neat to look back and
people love animal stories.
Yeah, they do.
They really do.
I just...
they like fishing stories too, right?
They do, yeah. And on my segment, which is coming up in a few minutes, we're going to actually catch some fish.
Summer one.
Summer one. That was the high point of 1999 for me, but we'll be right back to take a look at that and my other adventures right after these messages.
POL Classic, we'll have much more of it on WNEP Plus right after this.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania Outdoor Life as we continue our look at 1999. You know, Stan had a successful hunting year. I did a lot of animal stories, and I suppose we're going to hear about your travels with a fishing rod.
Well, a little fishing and a little hiking.
All right.
I mean, what more could you ask for?
Take it away, Sam. Take it away.
We've covered, like these other two guys, a lot of territory in 1999, and it is difficult to choose the ones that you like the most to show on this program, but we've done our best. So here, then, is my look back at 1999. I'm going to begin my look back on 1999 with just a smattering of clips from the Pennsylvania Outdoor Life Home Video Theater. I spend a lot of time looking at the videos you, our viewers, send in. When you think about it, a year is really made up of moments that stand out in our minds and become memories. The rest of the time is usually only a blur.
Build bedding.
One of those moments came when we tagged along with Game Commission biologist Gary Alt. Gary does a lot of this, searching for and identifying black bear. It's a program the wildlife biologist has been involved in for years, but even he had to admit that what we were to find this day was something quite unusual. There had been word that a large black bear was hanging around in these parts. Just how big, no one knew, but it was thought to be really hefty. If you look closely through the brush, you can see a large black shape. That's the bear. The true size of it, we would find, was hidden in the trees.
I got him. Get the radio gear.
It took a while, but the animal finally went down. The real work could begin. This was a beefy bear by anyone's standards. It is good that black bear are not known for their attacks on humans.
678 today. 678, is that right?
678.
Around 750 last fall. This is the equivalent of like world champion boxer. He's in the prime of his life. Very, very large male.
Reminds me of the old joke that goes, where does a nearly half-ton bear sit? Anywhere it wants. We stay out in the woods for a little hiking with Jane Fry. Most folks call her Hiking Jane, and she spends countless hours in the woods, both hiking herself and heading up groups that want the outdoor experience. Jane is knowledgeable about the outdoors, and so you get to learn a lot about the things that are often right beneath your feet.
They're called snow fleas, and usually we see them on the top of the snow. But they're really springtails. They're not fleas at all.
We also got to see some extraordinary scenery. You know how I am with waterfalls. I could simply sit and look at them all day. Thanks to Hiking Jane, we all did. Fishing, of course, occupied some of my time during the year. I fish a lot and catch little, so each time I do boat one, it's a moment. It didn't take that long, and the first fish of the day came aboard at the end of my line. Sam had done it, put us on fish. Life was good. It never stopped Stan and Jake when it comes to giving me grief, but I figure if they didn't have me to talk about, what else would they do? Anyway, 1999 got me onto the water quite a few times. We fished the Lackawanna River, too, not up where the water runs clean, but down into the populated areas where cover for fish might be an old refrigerator or a shopping cart. Still, our guide Tom Simpson found fish amid the murk and muck of this section of the river.
We stood there.
Nice fish they were, too. Darwin Kuiper has a place called the Fishing Hole up near Blakesley Corners. It's a fee fishing place, but you can keep what you catch if you wish. Spending some time with Darwin is really worth the price of admission.
All the time I was growing up, I always found out the best fishing was where I wasn't. And if I got where it was good, it should have been there yesterday. So I decided, when I get older, I'm going to build a place that it's always yesterday, and there's always more fish there than any place else. So this is what we've created.
We met Bob Lepley during the year, too. Bob runs a shop down near Sunbury, and he makes authentic reproductions of antique gun stocks. He's good enough at it to have had his pieces featured in some movies. Black powder folks from across the country who want perfectly accurate pieces come to him. You know, I think we're going to end this year in review outdoors, where it started. It has been a good year, 1999.
If you're doing
we made some new friends, saw some new places, and spent time with good company.
23?
I don't think it really gets much better than that.
You couldn't see through the grass.
Let's all hope that the year 2000 is filled with a bunch of moments just like the ones we were lucky enough to have had in 1999. I think we should keep running that that moment when I pulled that walleye.
For your copy of Mike catching a fish in 1999, send.
So Mike, you know, like the deer I got, the antlers went on a rack, and I know Jake's deer.
Right.
The antlers went on a rack.
Yeah.
We're going to see that fish that you caught, that one fish?
Well, if I can get a still made of it from our technical guys, yeah, you know, I mean, I send them back into the water.
You catch and release.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to practice that once this year.
Yeah, I don't bother them, they don't bother me. You know how that goes.
Broke free, I think.
Good look back.
Thanks, pal.
That was a good look back.
Thank you for joining us for a look back at POL Classics. Now I'm going to invite you to join us every Sunday night at 6:30 on WNEP+.